Imagine this. You've spent your entire life being the person who always says yes, who always shows up, who always puts others first. You give your time, your energy, your love, and your support without question. You believe that kindness means being there for everyone, no matter the cost. But then, one day, you wake up feeling empty. You're drained, overwhelmed, and resentful. Not because you don't care, but because you've been pouring from an empty cup. Sound familiar? We've all been taught that kindness is the ultimate virtue, that showing love and generosity to everyone around us is the ideal way to live. But what if I told you that there's more to kindness than simply saying yes to every request and putting everyone else's needs above your own? What if real kindness sometimes means stepping back, saying no, and setting boundaries, even with those we care about? Today I want to challenge the conventional idea of kindness and invite you to reconsider what it truly means. True kindness doesn't mean giving everything away until there's nothing left of you. It means knowing when to be gentle and when to stand firm, when to give and when to protect yourself. And it starts with understanding that not everyone deserves your kindness, and that's okay. We often hear the phrase, be kind to everyone, and for many, it becomes a guiding principle in life. It's easy to feel compelled to show kindness to all, to treat every person with the same degree of compassion and understanding. However, while kindness is a powerful virtue, it's crucial to understand that kindness should not be indiscriminate. Discernment in relationships is key to navigating the complexities of human interaction, and sometimes being kind to everyone can be more harmful than helpful. First, let's define what discernment means in this context. Discernment is the ability to judge well. It's about being able to understand the intentions and character of others and making decisions based on that understanding. In relationships, discernment allows you to know when to give your time, energy, and care to someone and when to pull back. There is no value in mindlessly offering kindness to people who will exploit or take advantage of it. This is where the line between kindness and naivety becomes blurred. Kindness, when offered without thought or awareness of the recipient, can be taken as weakness. Some people may see your generosity and assume that you will always say yes, that you will always be available, and that you will always forgive. They may come to expect your kindness without ever offering anything in return. Over time, you might find yourself drained, taken advantage of, and unappreciated. This is not true kindness. It's a recipe for resentment and burnout. Discernment helps us recognize who truly values our kindness and who simply takes it for granted. There are people in our lives who, whether intentionally or not, do not deserve our kindness in the way that we might expect. Some individuals may be toxic, manipulative, or harmful to our well-being. These people can take advantage of our goodwill, draining us emotionally, mentally, and sometimes even physically. If we continue to offer kindness without understanding their true nature, we are enabling their behavior. In some cases, this can allow destructive patterns to continue or worsen, leading to greater harm in the long run. If you constantly show kindness to someone who is manipulative, you may be reinforcing their behavior. they may begin to believe they can manipulate you to get what they want, and as a result, they will never be compelled to change or grow. Your kindness, rather than being a force for good, becomes an excuse for their actions. In such cases, it is necessary to exercise discernment and recognize that withholding your kindness by setting healthy boundaries can actually be a form of deeper love and compassion for both yourself and the other person. At the same time, discernment teaches us that we can still be kind to others, but our kindness must be offered in a way that encourages growth and positive change. It's not about withholding love, but rather directing it where it is most needed. True kindness is not about enabling poor behavior or allowing people to walk all over you. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is say no or draw a bound. By doing this, you are teaching people how to treat you, and you are allowing them the space to learn and grow. Understanding when to withhold kindness can be especially difficult when it comes to family members or close friends. There is often a deep sense of duty to always be there for those we love, to offer unconditional support, no matter what. However, even in these relationships, it is important to recognize that your kindness should not come at the expense of your own well-being. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for someone is to step back and let them face the consequences of their own actions rather than constantly swooping in to save them. Discernment in relationships is not about being unkind or withholding love. It's about using wisdom to ensure that your kindness is purposeful and effective. Kindness without discernment can lead to burnout, manipulation, and enabling negative behavior. By recognizing the true nature of those around you, understanding their needs, and knowing when to offer support or set boundaries, you can ensure that your kindness is both meaningful and sustainable. This approach not only protects your own peace, but also enables you to foster relationships that are grounded in mutual respect and growth. Kindness is often associated with gentleness and softness, but the truth is that kindness is not always about being agreeable or avoiding conflict. Sometimes the most kind thing you can do is offer what is often referred to as tough love. This concept suggests that love is not only about being kind in the traditional sense of giving affection or comfort, but also about offering honest truths, challenging behavior, and helping someone face uncomfortable realities that they may not want to acknowledge. Tough love is, in many ways, a deeper form of kindness that can sometimes be difficult to practice because it requires more strength and courage than merely offering affection or approval. The primary goal of tough love is to promote growth and positive change, both for the person receiving it and for the person offering it. While the phrase may seem harsh, it's not about being mean or hurtful. It's about helping someone confront their shortcomings, mistakes, or harmful patterns of behavior in a way that pushes them toward improvement. In fact, offering tough love is often a way of showing that you believe in someone's potential to do better, and that you care enough to help them rise above their current circumstances, even if it means confronting them with hard truths. This could mean calling someone out on their bad behavior, urging them to take responsibility for their actions, or even making the difficult decision to withhold help until they take the necessary steps to improve. The core of tough love is that it isn't about avoiding discomfort for the sake of keeping the peace or maintaining harmony. It's about embracing the uncomfortable moments that are necessary for someone's growth. Think about a parent who doesn't give in to a child's every whim, but instead teaches them boundaries, responsibility, and accountability. While the child may feel upset in the moment, the parent's actions are ultimately driven by a desire to help the child grow into a responsible and independent individual. The same principle applies in friendships, relationships, and other areas of life. Sometimes, the best way to show someone you care is not by always supporting them in their decisions, but by challenging them to see the consequences of their actions and encouraging them to make better choices. Tough love doesn't mean that you stop being compassionate or stop caring. On the contrary, it often comes from a place of deep care and concern. It requires more emotional strength and maturity because it can be uncomfortable and even painful for both parties involved. It also requires a level of honesty and vulnerability that can sometimes be difficult to maintain. But the rewards of practicing tough love are immense. When done with the right intentions, it can foster respect, growth, and a deeper sense of trust within relationships. People often grow more when they are faced with hard truths, and they appreciate those who are willing to challenge them to become better, even if it means difficult conversations or uncomfortable moments. In the end, tough love is not about being harsh or cold-hearted. It's about offering a form of kindness that pushes others to be their best selves. It teaches accountability, builds resilience, and fosters genuine personal growth. True kindness isn't just about softening the edges of reality for someone else. It's about giving them the strength to face it head-on. Being kind to everyone may seem like a noble ideal, but the reality is that constantly offering kindness to others, especially when it comes at the expense of your own well-being, can be harmful. We often hear that self-care is important, but too many people forget that protecting your peace is also an essential form of kindness. Not just to yourself, but also to the people around you. The more you deplete your own emotional and mental reserves by trying to be kind to everyone, the less energy and focus you have for the things that truly matter, including your own health and happiness. When you continually put others' needs before your own, especially those who take advantage of your kindness or fail to reciprocate it, you end up with nothing left for yourself. You may find yourself emotionally drained, stressed, and burned out, and this affects not just your mood, but also your ability to be there for others in a meaningful way. The energy you put into constantly helping others can easily become unbalanced, leaving you exhausted and with little sense of fulfillment. The paradox is that while you're trying to be kind to everyone, you may lose sight of your own needs and become resentful both toward others and yourself. Self-care is not about being selfish. It's about recognizing that you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot continuously give to others without replenishing your own reserves. And this is especially true when kindness begins to feel like a one-sided affair. It is not selfish to set boundaries in order to protect your peace. It is necessary. If you say yes to every request, take on every task, and allow others to drain your emotional resources, you will eventually have nothing left to give. And this affects your own well-being. When you fail to protect your peace, you not only end up feeling depleted, but you also risk making decisions out of guilt or obligation, rather than genuine kindness. This kind of reactionary kindness is not sustainable, and over time, it can erode your ability to show kindness in a healthy, authentic way. When you fail to protect your peace, you may also expose yourself to unhealthy or toxic relationships. Some people take advantage of others' kindness, exploiting their generosity without giving anything meaningful in return. These relationships can be draining and unfulfilling, often leaving you feeling taken for granted or unappreciated. You might feel trapped, unable to say no because of the guilt or fear of disappointing others. However, this is not a balanced relationship, and it certainly isn't one that promotes your mental or emotional well-being. Recognizing when to say no, when to set boundaries, and when to set boundaries to your own health is an essential act of kindness to yourself. By protecting your peace, you create space for healthy relationships that are built on mutual respect, where kindness is reciprocal and sustaining. When you set boundaries and protect your energy, you are able to show up for others in a way that is authentic and sustainable. You will find that when you take care of yourself, you have more to give. And your kindness will not come from a place of depletion or obligation, but from a place of genuine compassion and strength. Protecting your peace ensures that your kindness remains a source of joy and not a burden. And that is when it becomes truly powerful. True kindness is not simply about being nice or agreeable in all situations. Sometimes, the kindest thing you can do is to stand up against injustice and confront wrongdoing. Righteous anger and justice play an essential role in kindness, especially when they are rooted in a desire to protect those who are vulnerable or oppressed. Being kind doesn't mean turning a blind eye to evil or injustice. It means being brave enough to speak out, take action, and defend what is right. Kindness can be a powerful tool for change when it is used to challenge the wrongs in the world rather than allowing them to continue unchecked. Many people associate kindness with passivity, thinking that it's all about being gentle and avoiding conflict. However, there are times when avoiding conflict is not the kind or right thing to do. When you witness harm, whether it's bullying, injustice, or any form of wrongdoing, remaining silent in the face of it is not kind at all. True kindness sometimes involves anger, but it is anger that is motivated by a deep sense of righteousness and the desire for justice. This kind of anger isn't destructive, it is transformative. It pushes you to take action, to raise your voice, and to stand firm in your belief. For example, think about individuals who have fought for social change, equality, and human rights throughout history. Their acts of kindness were not just about offering comfort, but about speaking out against systems of oppression, inequality, and violence. They were not afraid to confront uncomfortable truths and demand a better world for those who had been silenced or marginalized. Their righteous anger drove them to fight for justice and to create change. And in doing so, they showed us that true kindness is not about passive compliance, but active resistance against injustice. In our daily lives, we may not face the same magnitude of injustice, but we all encounter moments when standing up for what is right is necessary. Whether it's defending someone being treated unfairly or speaking out against harmful actions, standing for justice is a powerful form of kindness. It ensures that we don't enable harmful behaviors or contribute to a system that mistreats others. True kindness is not just about being gentle or agreeable. Sometimes it's about having the courage to speak out and do what is right, even when it's difficult. Setting boundaries is an essential aspect of kindness, not just to yourself but also to others. Many people mistakenly believe that kindness means saying yes to everything, being available at all times, and putting others' needs ahead of your own. However, this approach often leads to exhaustion, resentment, and burnout. The act of setting boundaries is a vital form of self-respect and a means of maintaining healthy relationships. It shows that you value your time, energy, and well-being, and it encourages others to do the same. When you set boundaries, you're teaching people how to treat you. Without clear boundaries, others may overstep, assuming that you will always be available to them or that you will always go along with their requests, even when it's not in your best interest. By establishing limits, you communicate that your time and energy are valuable and you are not willing to sacrifice them at the expense of your own peace or happiness. Setting boundaries also creates space for mutual respect. In relationships where boundaries are respected, both individuals understand and honor each other's needs and limitations. This creates an environment where kindness can flourish. Without boundaries, kindness can become one-sided, where one person constantly gives and the other takes. Boundaries ensure that kindness is reciprocal, that both parties are aware of and respect each other's limits. Boundaries help protect your emotional and mental health. They prevent you from being overwhelmed by the demands of others and give you the space you need to recharge and maintain your well-being. By saying no when necessary, you protect your peace and create a more balanced, healthy way of interacting with the world around you. Setting boundaries is in essence an act of kindness to yourself and a way to foster more genuine, respectful relationships with others. Kindness is a powerful force, but it must be wielded wisely. It is not about blindly giving to everyone or tolerating every behavior. Rather, it's about understanding when to extend compassion and when to protect your own peace. By practicing discernment, embracing tough love, and setting healthy boundaries, you can ensure that your kindness remains a source of strength and joy, not depletion or resentment. True kindness is rooted in wisdom, justice, and respect for both yourself and others. As you move forward, remember that being kind to yourself is just as important as being kind to others. Stand firm in your boundaries, speak up when necessary, and always choose the path of love and growth, even when it's difficult. I wish you all the courage and wisdom to live out this form of kindness in your daily lives. Good luck, and thank you for embracing this message today. May your journey be filled with the strength to practice kindness in its most authentic and powerful form.